clash sequences. So if I mumble, I can't be heard. Oh dear. Well, shall I even bother with the posterity stuff? Because I doubt that this is going to get archived anyway. As anyone watches it later, hi, welcome back to Joyless Gaming. And this bloody game that I sometimes still play for some reason. Let's see if there's any crazy people online. I just I might just fiddle around with some Captain Cold. Because I'm recovering from a cold, so that makes sense, doesn't it? I only just thought of that, though. Oh! Cool. A ranked match. Watch me lose.
Firestorm. Mr. Freeze. Fighters approaching Redshell.
I'm gonna lose, but see, the thing is, all I need with whoa, yikes! All I need with the grinding for Cold's legendary is damage. So as long as I do some damage, it's okay.
Begin.
So instead of a wake up, I get a standing. I mean, what? I thought this was a low ping. Oh. And if he has the nerve to fucking teabag when I'm zoning, he's like, no, I just want to get my fucking... Why aren't you letting me do my fucking combos? What a worthless sack of shit! It's like, I'm fucking great, I can play in lag with a fucking really seriously powerful character. Isn't that amazing? I mean, why bother? What?! What's with the... I didn't even get a meter burn then. What the fuck just happened?
Firestorm wins.
I meter burned that. God, this game is just as bad as it ever was. I meter burned that wall, and it didn't meter burn it.
Begin.
It's incredibly unresponsive. I'll block that. What? Oh, this is why. This guy doesn't have a good connection. It's a close ping, but he's got a shitty connection. He got a fucking wake-up cross-up In this fucking lag? And yeah, he's a character with an ability to charge his character power manually, even though it charges up automatically. Is he plus on that? Yeah. Oh, why did that not even anti-air? Why did I go to play online?
You are going on ice. We're just getting warmed up.
Spend 3, why don't you? Oh. It's a shame. Ah, oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I gotta go with that. That's the... Gotta remember too that the... God! Yes, we get it! You've got a small penis! And this is your way of compensating for that, huh? I play in lag online and win, aren't I great? Lad, you are a fucking retard. I get it. I didn't expect to win, but it would be nice if you weren't a fucking retard.
Begin.
I mean, so much for the ping, huh? I'm surprised he didn't wake up. Yeah, wake up throw count on my ass. Why did I not get a wake up throw? I mean, he did a thing, but... Oh, yeah. Oh, bullshit! This game is so fucking garbage. This is why it doesn't matter that they fucking removed the Redshell from the PC version. Ugh. Oh, I fucking delayed wake up, you worthless fucking piece of shit. Oh yeah, and I'm +4 after that, and I'm not fucking plus in the slightest. I mean, that is just great. You play online, plus frames means you get punished. Ugh. Yes, feel good about your victory because you can't fucking win otherwise, you idiot. Because you play against people like me who suck at the game. Ugh. It wouldn't have been a problem if you weren't acting like such a fucking retard. I would have thought, yep, you're playing a good character, you've got experience, but no, really, you don't look like you could play the game particularly well against people who know what they're doing without having a shitty connection to help you. Fucking hell. Why did I even bother looking online? I just thought I just need to do damage to grind up Captain Cold. It's one of those things. You play this online. Oh, that's right. That's why I don't play it online. Because online sucks. Of course, it's offline sucks as well. Why do I even play this fucking game? Impulse, well... this is what I get also for... I mean, playing this shitty game when I'm recovering from being sick. Why am I doing this? I didn't feel like playing something else. I should have played something else. Yeah. That should be the thing. That should be my general response. Should I do some Injustice stuff? Oh, that's right. Injustice is fucking garbage. Play something better. Yeah, anyway, let's say no more aliens. I'm fine with that. But just need damage to grind for... I mean, a shitload of damage to grind for Cold's Legendary. It was actually really close to being done until they fucked up the Legendary Multiverses, or some of the Legendary Multiverses, with the Legendary Edition patch. I had almost all of the work done. Actually, I think I did have all of the work done.
Frost warning.
I'll protect my children.
Cover them with a tarp.
Begin.
Who's my assist? Oh, right. Oh, for fuck's sake! Piece of shit game? Oh, and yeah, don't give me a wake up. I didn't want to wake up there, did I? I only did a special move on the fucking ground to do a wake up. It's doing it for fun. Piece of shit. Oh, that sucks. Never even learned what the proper setup thing for him is. Of course, I'm still of the opinion that it would be good if the character could do other stuff rather than just being good because of the one fucking setup thing he can do. Yeah, now I want you to hit me. Uh-huh. I wanted you to hit me. Why can I never time that properly either? Something I noticed over the past couple of weeks or something like that trying to play. I either really suck at getting that back wall bounce after a background bounce, or the different background bounces actually have different... I mean, I know they do have different timing, but some of them are really, really quick. I mean, obviously, you got, like, the Brainiac one is really slow because they sit there on Brainiac for a couple of seconds and then he knocks them back. But, like, the one in the Rock of Eternity seems to be really quick.
You've always had it out for me.
Not necessarily.
Now you're calling me a liar?
Begin.
Uh-huh. Yeah, something like that.
My sister never had a chance.
Oh, I keep forgetting it. Aggressive all of a sudden.
The rogues are done.
Not until you're dead.
Yeah, that's right. Women it doesn't work on, for some reason. Also doesn't work on big bodies, but... Don't know why it doesn't work on female hitboxes.
Cold wins.
That was something I was going to look at, wasn't it? I think the thing you can do with the big bodies is do the same string, you do it into the meter burn straight shot, and then you can... I think you're in range for like a forward 2. Hell, you might even be in range for another back 2-3-2.
Start with the arms or the legs?
You're gonna eat that gun cold.
Just try it, Cyberpunk.
Begin.
See what happens when you play God?
Oh, you bastard. The guy's really not very clever.
Captain Cold wins.
Well, it's not even, that's not even whether or not it's behaving intelligently, it just doesn't even know when you've done something like that. Same with when you've got the sidekicks going. It does the same thing. Doesn't know what they are and what they do. Unlock a random ability. Oh, that's right, I've been using Green Lantern on those, because Green Lantern needs all these sidekick events, and I just thought I'd grade out those ones instead. You need shitloads of other stuff as well. Okay, so this is how you progress with this. This is for platinum boxes, this is alright then. Although I have to do one of them with the Joker, and I don't want to do that really. What does that set do again? I can't remember what that set does.
Mr. Freeze.
Oh, hello. Sewer Stunt, thanks for the follow. Although if it's this game that you're interested in, I don't stream it so often anymore. I just had this kind of thing to stream it tonight for some reason. So, thanks for the follow, but if you ever feel like buggering off because
How are you still alive?
I suck,
My
then
power
feel
is
free to do so and don't feel guilty about it.
You will make a fine test subject.
Enter.
Begin.
Oops, that's a low. No? Okay, that doesn't work. Yes. Yes, do make note that I'm bad at this. Actually, I'm bad at pretty much anything. And I complain a lot, as you probably have noticed since you've been around, since I was playing that red match. Ah, shit. Oh, that was a waste of a bar. It was almost dead anyway. You missed. Yeah, I'm sure I saw, yeah. No, where's the meter burn? Oh, come on, meter burn it, mate. Rank match brought you some joy. Why? Because of my complaining or because of the wanker doing the teabagging? Oops. I'm fucked. Okay. Why'd you throw the mine there, Luther? Justified complaints. Well, I'd like to think they were justified.
Mr. Freeze wins.
It was really bizarre that obviously that person is quite close by because they had a fairly low ping, but it obviously wasn't a good connection. And I can't imagine that it was helped by my streaming. But this is just some serious garbage on the online connections in this game. Maybe it's just because Australia doesn't have particularly good
I must understand
internet.
your brain, Grud.
I won't meekly submit, human.
You will be frozen for study.
Begin.
Oh, okay. Cancelled into my face. Yeah, But it's definitely nothing to brag about being able to beat me in a ranked match or anything like that, because being able to beat me in this game, because that's not a challenge. Oh, God. Oh, I didn't wait too long. I thought I would have... Oh, mistimed it again. You know what? What I should do online, if it's gonna lag out, I should play Grob, because he lags out the game on PC. Ow. Ow. Oh, come on. I did a forward 3 and a back 3. Why did you go... No, the back 3 was like... Ugh. Why aren't you clashing, Grodd? The monkey?
Mr. Freeze wins.
I had a thought there and I've forgotten what it is. How do I do the Legendary Universes Guild requirements? I just send my AI to finish Guild Multiverse events. It's just really tedious. It's so incredibly tedious that it's yeah, it's definitely something that should not have been put as a requirement for any Legendary Multiverses.
The wizard's magic can cure my
There's like 200 guild events and a bunch of sidekick events. It's just
I
ridiculous.
will gladly trade your life for Nora's.
Begin.
Unless you can quite easily single-handedly beat guild bosses, then it's just not going to work very well. Why the hell didn't he get hit by the mine? Because, fuck off. Because most guild events are at least 5 fights. The only ones that are 1 fight are the boss events, and you need to be able to finish the boss events for it to count. That was a forward 2-3, not a forward 3, you stupid game. But if in one word I could say, how do I do the guild events slowly? Oh, there's no way that landed first. My down 3 starts up faster than that. Although, was he doing as a wake-up, though? Must have hit it on its wake-up frames then. Yeah, they are very timing based, but it's annoying that they don't take your input and say, okay, well you can't do this yet, but then do it on the first available frame. They instead just say, okay, you pressed forward 2, 3, but you couldn't do the forward 2, let's get the forward 3. It just makes it feel so unresponsive. So I'm quite sure I remember MKX feeling more responsive, that if you did something on block, and whether or not you were plus or minus, if you did something on block and then pressed a button, it would do what you told it to do on the first available frame, which is not really always a good idea, because if you're doing something when you're minus and you're mashing buttons and somebody else does something faster, then obviously you're going to get punished for that. But wait a minute, wait, what? Are you telling me that the standing 1-2 into background bounce didn't combo? Oh, anyway. It's one of those things that just makes it, makes the controls feel unresponsive, because even if you've on plus frames, you have to wait until the block stun or hit stun wears off to be able to do a follow-up move. I was trying to figure out the thing with Black Adam and his standing 1-1-1-3, and you actually have to wait. Despite the fact that that string leaves him +3 on block, you have to wait for the block stun animation to stop before you can actually do a follow-up move. There's like this thing too, you know, this back 2-3-2 for cold is now +4 on block, and if I don't wait for the thing, See, I went back 2-3-2, it was blocked, I pressed down 1, but because I didn't press down 1 after the block stun, it didn't come out, so I have to wait. So what's the point of giving me plus frames if I can't actually do anything with the plus frames without waiting for the damn animation to end? It could be interpreted as a skill gap, but as I said, if you did it my way, where if you pressed a button while you're in block stun or in plus frames or anything like that, it would animate that move on the first available frame that is allowed to, then it would still be a skill-based thing, because just because it will come out without you needing to know when to do it, doesn't mean it's a good idea to do it. Because as I said, if you look at stuff like, it doesn't happen as much in this game, but it was something you could do in MKX a bit more, with tick grabs, where you would go for some plus frames into a poke into tick grab. And it was easier to get away with, because usually the poke would come out when you thought it would come out, rather than saying, okay, you've got plus frames, but you've got to wait for a block stun animation to finish. It doesn't feel like plus frames. But you could go for the sort of, you know, string and special or whatever into plus frames for a tick grab. Whereas in this one, it's got this weird timing issue. throw count. Do you see how that just said throw counter? Do you know what button I pressed there? I pressed the throw button. You can't fucking throw counter a throw! You could say that your throw started up sooner. Well then at the very least, I should have had a throw escape, you fucking cheating piece of shit! Where was my meter burn? Fuck this game! Oh, piss off, you fucking bastard. Oh, it actually gave me a wake-up for once. Ugh. Oh, piss off. Alright. Losing like... That was not a tech roll, that was a wake-up, but anyway.
It's over, Victor. You can't stop my research.
Oh, damn it! I got 2 bars, I was thinking, oh, if I've still got lots of meter... I hardly ever win clashes. Oh, really? What? He started... Oh, this is what I... You know... It sucks playing online because of all sorts of cheap bullshit that happens because of lag and stuff. Or just, you know, because I have the shittiest luck. But the bullshit that the AI pulls... He started up his parry the instant he hit the ground. You try inputting a special as soon as you're in the air. You just have to do the input in the air. Yeah, this is the perfect input in every situation is kind of necessary in this game because of how they built the controls. But, I mean, is this the one I need to do as the Joker? No? Oh, it's the boss one. Okay. In that case, I'm fine. Just... Unless I need to do... What's the thing for this? Future endeavors with a gold score. So I should do some super finishes. Yeah. I just think there's a bit of a disconnect with their notion of... Well, I think it's a slightly different notion between perfect execution and then perfect timing or input. Because if, as I said, I mean, it seems like it would be maybe catering to too much of a noob-friendly thing or whatever, but if I could do a string that has plus frames on block, and then as it, I see it's hitting on block, I do the input for a follow-up move and a special cancel, a poke into a tick round or something like that.
Begin.
And it doesn't work because, I have to wait for the actual animation to finish instead. That has nothing to do with my execution as such. Whereas if you made it so that it worked the way I suggested it should, then you could get away with doing stuff, but it would help you do things rather than do the right thing. So as I said, you could end up doing stuff that's not the best idea in a given situation. It would help your execution, but it wouldn't actually help your gameplay. Yeah, that should kill. I've been doing a lot of damage to him. But I'm not really the target audience for fighting games, so I doubt anyone would listen to me anyway. Another thing demonstrated by, well, actually, even if I play against the computer, I don't really have the right temperament for fighting games. It's too much bullshit, it's too much garbage. And in terms of playing other people, there are too many assholes. It's like, oh, I'm winning, I'm gonna teabag. You're winning against me, that's not really something to celebrate. And there was supposed to be a wake-up there. They should make up their mind as to how a wake-up is supposed to be done. Do you do the input while you're on the ground, or do you have to, again, time it perfectly, which is this other obnoxious thing. If you don't time it perfectly, you end up standing up and eating a full combo or something like that, whereas, well, when you watch the AI do it, you'd think that you could do invincible wake-up normals, because they can just go, I don't have to play the getting up animation, and can do a normal attack that just starts up when I say it does and when I want it to. That was a 1-2-2, not a 2. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Ugh. This is mostly what I do. I play games and complain. Well, especially if I'm playing this, because I have no fucking idea why I'm playing this, because I hate this game.
Captain Cold wins.
Although, on behalf of other PC players, crossplay, please. It's almost mandatory now for fighting games on PC. Fighting games already are a niche market. If you're going to put them on PC and you don't have cross-platform multiplayer, it's like you don't want people to play your game. So is that her wake up? Oh, I thought I timed that right. Hey, why was that still coming at me? I hit her, didn't I? Or did she block it?
Somebody call the ice cream man?
Bloody hell. Should have gone the other thing because it can air escape that, I think. So I shouldn't be doing it that way. Yes, but to try and clarify my belabored point, if you made the sort of execution type stuff easier, at least in terms of plus frames on block and what have you, it wouldn't make you a better player, because it wouldn't always be the right thing to do. You can't be, just because it would be easier to input something that's, you know, in plus frames, to get it to come out during your plus frames, that doesn't make it the right choice. So you could still end up doing something that's not a good idea to do, or, you know, in this or in other games, if it's got some sort of reversal or counter type mechanic where, you know, even if you're in the plus frames, you could armor through it or something. Parry even, maybe. Then again, there's a lot of things about this game and, well, Mortal Kombat, because they're the only fighting games I've actually put any effort into learning, and I resent and regret having gone to the effort of trying to learn stuff about them. Because it just causes me more frustration. Oh, damn it, he's got it. Okay, good, he didn't air escape. That's obviously doing enough damage that I can give him so much meter before I do anything. The other thing, to illustrate the point I was trying to make, is that I noticed early on in this game's lifespan, people who were playing Scarecrow, they would get something on block and go into the meter burn, I think it's called Fiornado, because it had plus frames, and then that would guarantee a down one, because he's got a 6-frame down one, so they would go for the tick grab. And the thing that people sort of figured out afterwards that I would see later on was that they wouldn't go for the down one, because what the opponent could do is, even though you're at plus frames, they can not block the down one, and therefore the command grab won't land. Because the down one on hit into a command grab won't connect.
Begin.
So just because it's something that works doesn't mean it's the best idea. I think you're supposed to be able to down 2 that. The other thing I keep doing that's really screws me up online, I was just thinking about that, is that stuck on that a bit still, is that I'm always trying to go for wake-ups because I can never get them to work consistently, and that's a personal issue, that's a personal failing, you know. A wake-up attack is not always the best thing to go for, and I'm always just trying to go for them because I treat that as every opportunity to do a wake-up is practice to try and get wake-ups to work, and I can't get them to work consistently. But, you know, so that's another thing. So you make it easier to do a wake-up attack. It doesn't make a wake-up attack the best idea, because if they predict that you're going to do a wake-up, a lot of wake-ups aren't safe, or, you know, are not guaranteed to, certainly not guaranteed to land. But of course, there's other design things I sort of slightly disagree with, like making... After they changed MKX in the last patch to remove armored launchers, it's a little weird that they've got wake-up attacks in this that can lead to a full combo. You'd think they would... They would go, you know, well, we were removing armored launchers and people were using armored launcher wake-ups. Oops. I forgot about getting the super finishes. Let's just... There we go. Transitions. It's also like how they love having 50-50s, and I hate that because it's not a clever thing. And yeah, plenty of NetherRealm fans are always asking, oh, we need we need more mix-ups, and they're kind of forgetting that a 50-50 is not really a mix-up, it's a coin toss. You know, a stagger, or going for a throw instead of something, you know, so you don't complete the string, or you stagger it, go for different things, go for plus frames into a throw instead of a follow-up string or whatever, you know, those are mix-ups. backing off to maybe try and bait something to punish. That's a mix-up, because you can mix up your gameplay, but if you rely on getting your opponent to guess overhead or low, then you're not really ever actually mixing up your gameplay. Now sure, if you were constantly going for one over the other, then it does become a mix-up to suddenly go for the other one, but I mean, that's something that completely removes player skill. So let's put very specific timing-based stuff in here, and that's... But let's also have 50-50s. Yeah, okay. I think a lot of people have come around to the notion that, yes, actually, in this game, the Flash is really, really good, and not just because of people who are good with him, but how much of everything that he can do is pretty much predicated on him using 50-50s. Though I think he's also... I mean, the issue there is that, yeah, his combos are big and come off of 50-50s, but he is kind of safe on some of his specials that are not technically safe, but because of block stun or pushback, they're not punishable, I think. So, I don't know. I find the Flash a bit too hard to play, or too hard to figure out on my own. I prefer to try and see what I can figure out on my own with the character.
Begin.
Which is also kind of silly, but anyway. Why did that not even land? What? What? Why did the game just freeze? Oh, come off it. That move is not safe. Why did he get to hit me first? Wait, he had a super ready already? What the hell?
My turn.
Imagine if you built meter based on the damage you were dealing. Oh, I have heaps of it. Actually, I do have heaps of it. Never mind. Oh, oh wait, cold! Do the... Oh, bloody hell. Oh, come with it. That is not at all... oh, right. I think I've done sufficient super finishes to get a gold score on this.
Captain Cold wins.
Was that the last one? Was. So I've done a few things. How much damage has that given me? There's a ranked match. There's been a couple of towers. I had 1.4 and something million damage. I'm still 1.4 something million damage. Fuck, this is going to take ages. Certainly don't think I'm getting anywhere close to it tonight. So annoying, because I had all of that done. I had all of that done because I remember going through the fucking guild events. I may not have had all the sidekick events done. I'm not quite sure. But if anything, the sidekick events were quite possibly the only thing I hadn't finished. And then it went and meant that I hadn't done as many multiverse events because it reset some of the... Well, not the entirety of the multiverse events, but some of them. And I reset the damage. No, again, not entirely. It put it down to like 1 million. But hey, on the plus side, for a couple of those characters, it's put them a hell of a lot further ahead than I already was. Raiden gear. Sub-Zero, fuck off. Impulse power. Why would you have a level 30 boss but say that the requirement is that I have a level 15 character? Why the hell would I want to attempt this with a level 15 character? It needs to be done with the Joker to count for the thing, so I'm just going to get the computer to fight him for me.
The Joker.
And I'll go and do that final tower. One of the things they surreptitiously fucked up with the legendary patch was that now that these things go up to level 30, the bosses are not as bad as they used to be, funnily enough, because they often had those stats anyway, so it doesn't matter that they're now at level 30. But regular events,
Begin.
the enemies now have access to level 30 gear and level 30 stats, and they've still got the same cheating AI. Which means that the regular events in the standard multiverses are a lot harder. Not as much in the battle simulator, because the battle simulator for some reason only ever gives the AI enemies common gear. And also, oddly enough, the guild multiverse only ever gives you gives the enemies rare gear. But all of these other multiverses give the enemies epic gear. Level 30 epic gear with really high stats. So the regular fights in the multiverse at level 30 are pretty much the same as boss fights. Except they have 2 health bars, and they can get health back on a clash. The bosses can't do that. Bosses spend bar and they can't get health back, so haha, you idiot. And he just did some wake up normals. It'll wake up back 2. I think that's Brainiac's back 2. That double hitting tentacle thing. Did actually play the getting up animation then. This is me just complaining again, isn't it? Because this is that law fight everyone wanted to see, the Joker versus Brainiac. Let's make the boss Brainiac, but let's make the requirement that you beat him with the Joker, because, yeah, the Joker versus Brainiac, that's something everybody wanted to see. Thinking of the Joker, though, having had a brief play of the first game, whenever that was. It's right about the time of the Steam Summer Sale, because that's when I bought it. Yeah, that boss fight was me sending my own Joker AI. I wasn't playing. I can't play the Joker. I know some of his things, but I don't know how to use them. I just needed to beat the boss with the Joker for the multiverse objectives. And now I just need to complete this one. But yeah, speaking of the Joker, his trait in the first one, from what I understand, is kind of similar to what his trait is in the second one, in that
Captain Cold.
what it did was it gave him more movement speed, you know, faster dashes, and I think that was it, faster dashes. But it was a parry as well. And he had a high and low parry. But I got the impression, I wasn't able to actually use it, but I got the impression that the counters on the parries persisted for the entire fight. Maybe they did have a timer. But I think if you could get him up to 3 Ha's and have that last for the remainder of the fight, it might make his trait a bit more useful. Why did that miss? Yeah, his trait reduces chip damage. Now it does, anyway. It didn't used to. That's one of the ways that they adjusted his trait so that it was like, oh, you know, Joker needs a buff. How about we buff his trait, despite the fact that part of the problem with his trait is it runs out. So if it had, thinking of the Joker's trait, if it had the startup of the level 3, because there's quite a long startup on the level 3 version of his trait. If it had that startup on every level, but those levels persisted, then it would be something that, you know, it would be something that you would have to get a setup for. You'd have to get a setup to be able to activate his trait and build it up, and then you could still keep that sort of damage reduction. Maybe not complete chip negation, but considering that the faster dashes can actually, or it's not the faster dashes that I think necessarily will throw off the Joker player, but the faster jumps will, because that doesn't help you as much. Maybe you could land a couple more jump attacks in a combo, but that'd be really weird to try and to deal with. I was wondering, because there was something recent. Oh yeah, a few days ago or last week or something, there was one of those multiverses to unlock character-specific gear, and it was for the Joker. And so I was playing the Joker a bit, and I thought maybe if maybe there was something you could do with the dash cancels on his gunshots. Like if you had the really fast dash recovery from his trait, that whether or not that could do something with the dash cancels on the gunshot. Like if you could get some good block stun things going.
The rogues are done.
Here comes a blizzard of pain.
But I don't know. I'm sure Joker mains have tried something like that anyway. Come on, meter burn it.
Captain Cold wins.
But as it stands, I think Joker is just a character that in this game you don't really want to use. Unless people don't know the matchup. It's one of those characters where, unfortunately, you have to be significantly better than your opponent. Because you are not going to be carried by the character.
Begin.
Wait, what? I know that's a high, but he was standing at the time. They're not likely to trust my opinion of things like that, though, because I can't even be carried by a high tier character. A couple of months ago, I was, for some reason, playing this and playing online. And ran into someone, and we spent some time playing a Captain Cold mirror. And they were much better at Captain Cold than I am. They actually knew the setup and all that sort of stuff. And obviously much more used to playing online as well. But I switched, towards the end, I switched to Black Adam, and I still lost because I suck. Oh, that's right. Scarecrow counts as big body, doesn't he? Idiot, that doesn't combo. You got hit by that. Ha. I'm surprised I've displayed the patience to stick with this for an hour. It's probably because it's mostly been against the computer and playing online sucks. But But I've for quite some time said, maybe not necessarily publicly, but said that I'm bothered by the way that Captain Cold works, because they decided that his trait should be charged manually, and it can do some different things, but only one of them is really worthwhile.
Begin.
And they decided, instead of, when Sonic Fox sort of proved how semi-broken he was with that setup, they decided, instead of fixing that broken setup, to just sort of leave the setup in place but make it harder to do. I think that sort of says a lot about NetherRealm's design philosophy, unfortunately. Oh, nice air escape. Ah, fuck. Yeah, that one worked. Because I would have changed his trait. Be one of those ones, kind of like, well, actually, is there anyone else? I know, I compare it to something like Hellboy, because he's got several things that he can do with his trait, and they put him on different duration cooldowns, depending on what you did. And I thought, if you made Captain Cold's trait work that way, then you wouldn't have to make him be about a basically broken setup situation, and could instead give him that utility that they clearly designed him with, because then he could use different aspects of his trait for different circumstances. Like, if somebody's playing a rushdown character, it's going to hit you a lot. If you made it so that he's got, then you would go for the armor, the ice armor, because that deals thorn damage. I reckon you should make it like negate or reduce chip damage as well, but put a wall anyway. Yeah, the problem with oops. Come on. The problem with, that's another thing, is that his down forward 2 meter burn problem with that, when it does land and doesn't hit the enemy, is that it only takes one projectile to break. Yes, he can shoot through it, but it only takes one projectile to break, and you can jump over it and you can teleport around it. So it's not exactly a foolproof counter-zoning tool or anything like that. And like the level 2, I would make it so that the level 2 doesn't cause a freeze. I mean, people might disagree with that, and that's fine, you can disagree with that. But it's sort of this whole looping for a refreeze situation. I would make it so it didn't do that, but I'd make it last a bit longer and do its damage faster.
This match. Guess I'll die trying.
Because it only ticks once per second, I'd make it tick 2 or 3 times per second. And maybe make it deal a bit more damage, and so it's sort of it becomes something of a counter-zoning tool. So rather than being part of a setup, it becomes something where you can sort of throw it out to... So you can sort of use it in the same way that... Oh, that's right, it's a low. Use it in the same way that Flash uses his trait, because that's basically... It's a counterpart to Flash's trait, except it freezes. Yeah, that... You actually raised quite a good point. Putting out that wall is like, oh yeah, you can use it to charge his trait, and that's the thing. It's a tool that exists to help him manually charge his trait, and it wouldn't necessarily need to be that if he didn't have to manually charge his trait. And in fact, you could make it one of his trait options. So that it's there for a certain duration, make it so it can't be broken, and you can shoot through it, but then it goes on a cooldown after you've done it, so you can't just keep throwing it out.
Begin.
And the same with the the slow field, you can't just infinitely spam it or whatever. I'd basically make the shortest cooldown thing this one, so that you can use it as a defensive tool, which is clearly a defensive tool. I mean, nobody ever uses the level 3. And the only thing the level 3 does is give you meterless damage. And you can still only get 1 freeze per combo. That's the thing that sort of really kind of bothers me about the design of Captain Cold, is that he's designed in such a way where if you land a combo and spend a bar of meter, you don't keep doing the combo. It's, yeah, burn a bar of meter to then take the time to charge up your trait. And until they put in the turtles and did the same thing with Raphael, he was the only character in the game who had to manually charge his character power. It's his bloody character power, and he can't use it when he wants to. He's going to hit me and I'm going to die. Oh no, he didn't hit me. And yes, there's Scarecrow, but then again, Scarecrow, you activate that, and then all you have to do is be close to your enemy, and it deals damage over time and builds your trait meter.
You old-timers can fight. That makes one of us.
Old-timers? He's not that old, is he? How? Yeah. Yeah, I think it sucks that you land a combo, spend a bar of meter for a combo extension, except you don't extend the combo. You manually charge his trait so that you can go for a setup. So you have to set up your setup. It's not even that you can go for setup. You have to set up to then later go for your setup. It sucks. So despite what he can do, I still think he's not a very good character in this game, because if you can prevent him charging his trait, he's not good. And frankly, considering that when you think about the things you could do with his trait, he's got the 3 things that it already does. Except it also has that passive thing where it increases the speed of your projectiles, depending on how, what level of charge you've got. I reckon you could make that another one of the things it does. You activate a different thing to give you buffed projectiles. That would actually make him, it would make him a proper utility character, where instead of being good at rushdown or even good at a particular setup or anything like that, he's got tools to help in different situations. So that right there just shows how bad of a choice the level 3 is. Yeah, it's but then again, I mean, the fans of this game, as well as NetherRealm themselves, seem to be of the opinion that no, counterpicks is the way to balance the game, rather than admitting that if you've got a character that is only good against certain other characters, and that was the thing, that for ages, even when Cold was sort of considered really good, before they nerfed him and everything, he was really only good against certain characters. Like he was good against the Flash and good against Catwoman. He was good against Catwoman because they removed the armor from Meteor Cat Dash. But it was because of that. He could throw that out. You can throw that out, and then instantly, somebody like the Flash or Catwoman can't just instantly get in from full screen, because they have to worry about getting frozen and then full combo.
I'll stop you, Cold. That gag's got whiskers.
But so they nerfed the active duration of this on the ground, as well as how long the freeze lasts for. Because it was too good at letting people get away with charging up his trait. So it's like this move was too good because we badly designed his trait, and this move was so good it let people get around our badly designed trait.
Captain Cold wins.
And NetherRealm just seems to be too obsessed with giving their characters crutches rather than a solid design. That's like I was complaining before, as I complain often about 50/50s. They're not a good design element, they're a crutch. Because if a character is only good because they can make you guess every time they attack you, like, oh, you know, you can defend this, but you have to defend it by getting lucky, you're rewarding or punishing the player based on luck, not based on skill. This is a fighting game. Surely it's supposed to be about skill. Getting distracted. Where was the... Oh. Meter burn, please. Fair enough. You did do a wake up there. Pardon. I shouldn't be talking so much. I'm still slightly croaky from cold. So there are people who want, who were thinking, oh, you know, when Cold was nerfed, he's better now than he was after he was nerfed, but I still don't think they did the right things with him. It's like making that string, the back 232, it's now +4. He's got a 6 frame down 1. He doesn't need +4. And there's not a lot else you can actually do with it. You know, I'm guessing as long as you took the skill to put that in a situation. Well, that's the problem, is that most of the time it isn't. It's like, you look at the Flash in this. His 50/50s are combo starters. They're string starters, so you never really put into a situation. Because if you're trying to defend, you actually either have to attack him, or he's going to make you guess. Ah, that's the multiverse done. Yay! Like, let's, no, single player, practice. I don't really know how to use him, but where are we? Where are we? But that's why I was saying, though, I mean, it's not just... There's already a guessing game going on. Where's the Flash? There he is.
The Flash. Superman. Fighters approaching
there's already a guessing game going on because you don't know exactly what your opponent is going to do, because that's... When they talk about, you know, reads and what have you, that's you're already trying to guess what your opponent is going to do, but you got that. What is it? 4-2-1 or down 1-2. I think it's a 6 frame down 1. 7 frame down 1. So 7 frame low. Or forward 2. I think some people might technically call that reactable. But you've got, and the down 1 is safe, and the forward 2 is safe. One down, where down 1-2 is -2, so it's very safe. And forward 2-1, okay, that's not safe. And there's a gap in the forward 2-3. So okay, technically the overhead string, if you're doing that, is not safe. And I think that's a gap. But you're not going to go and not cancel into something. I don't know if the kick is safe. But the problem is, when you look at the Flash the way he's designed in this, if you took away his ability to do a 50/50, all he would have is high damaging combos, because he's otherwise not super well designed. He's designed to do well in getting you to guess and doing big damage combos. what move was I looking for? Back to 15 frame mid. So yeah, I mean it's 15 frame mid. It's +2 though. How far does it go? Yeah, not very far. What's the string back? I really don't know how to play the flash. Back 2-2. Oh, it's back 2-2 forward 3. Okay. And you can cancel that. I think if you made that a bit faster and took away his 50-50, he would still have the ability to... like, where I don't mind an overhead low mix-up is if it's going to end the combo. Because if it's, you know, based on that, or... what is it, down 1-2? What would you cancel that into? Can you cancel that into? Yeah, you can cancel that into. It's hard for me to do this because I'm on a keyboard, and for some reason, even with a gaming keyboard, it doesn't want to do... Can I just change to the controller and will that make it easier? Not really. Ah. Yeah, it's just that if he had a faster mid, or if it reached a bit further, because that's one of the things that makes Robin good in this game. He doesn't have 50-50s, but he's got reasonable speed on far-reaching normals that are actually mids. So he actually does have a good neutral game. The Flash doesn't really have a good neutral game because he's got that, or he's got get up close and do that. Well, how far does the forward 2 work? So, yeah, if he's at this distance, you don't have to worry, but then again, you can recover pretty quickly from the forward dash, so you could be here and go... we could be here and go... except not down 2. Oh, that's right, you have to press forward first. Is that how that works? Down and 2, forward 1, 2, or 3. And... so... why does he have amazing mental? Well, I mean, it is a bit strange that he has a good uppercut when he also has, is it? No. Yeah, that. Surely that should be his anti-air. I thought you could cancel after that. You can? Why didn't it do it? I'm doing the wrong thing, that's why I'm an idiot. Told you I don't know how to play him. I mean, Honeybee makes it look so easy, but that's because he's really good at this character. But yeah, if that were faster, you could take away his 50-50s and make his back 2 faster. And he would still have the ability to hit confirm into something off of that. But then you'd still be looking at people thinking, well, you'd either be doing, is it that or that? But in the case of that thing, that finishes a combo. You can't combo from that, whereas you can combo from this. It's really the thing, isn't it? I don't know what the moves are. I'm trying to think that you could do something like... Yeah. How do you cancel that? Because that's another one of those things where that's like sort of a mix-up type thing, is that if he can cancel into a stance that can't full combo but can do something, but then he can cancel the stance, that's like what I would properly consider a mix-up, is that you go for something, or do you show them the stance and then cancel out of the stance and block so that they maybe do something that you can punish. What is it called? Onimark. Running Man. Backdash. Right, so you backdash. Right. And do you have to backdash out of the run as well? Probably. Yeah. And see, that is why, despite the fact that, I think the character is kind of carried by his 50-50s, there is still elements of skill to be in the character, because, for players, because you look at some of the stuff that a player like Honeybee will do, or even, Happy Power goes through a bit of weird stuff. He likes Flash. Not the character Flash, as in, flashy stuff. I swear I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know how to say what I want to say. My head's not working properly. But that, you look at the stuff that they do, and you can... And some of their combos, the combo extensions, will involve cancelling into that to then cancel out of the stance to then go into something else. But you look at some of the other dirty stuff that I've seen them do, yeah, look at that combo. Bunch of overheads. That combos. So, it's when your game plan revolves around making it hard for your opponent to block something, rather than hard to figure out what you're trying to do. They talk about how, neutral heavy this game is because of spacing, and you don't get to not everyone just gets to run in and do 50-50s like you could in MKX. But think of how angry people got about the run cancel characters in MKX. They're thinking, these characters are overpowered, but they didn't have 50-50s. I mean, granted, from what I understand, A-list Johnny Cage had some slightly broken stuff where I think he could cancel even on whiff, which, you shouldn't be able to cancel into the special on whiff, let alone then go from that special into run cancel. But, they were good for their sort of block pressure, despite the fact that apparently the intention was that they'd be for, combo extension. But anyway, I don't know if I've adequately made my point, or even made a point at all. That was a really low damage combo. Even that, you could... Well, I looked at the thing, how safe is that whole combo? Back 2, 2, 4, 3. That whole string, this is... Look at this. This is actually... That whole string is a bunch of mids that ends up being neutral on block. It's either safe or completely neutral at the end of it, and it's hit confirmable. If it went further or started up a bit faster, that would be fucking amazing! And you wouldn't need 50-50s because you'd just be able to do stuff on block and be completely safe. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how to play the Flash. It's a bad, I'm a bad person to give examples of that sort of stuff, but anyway. Oh, I'm getting tired. And it's only 10 o'clock, and I'm probably going to be awake until 3 or 4 in the morning, but I'm still tired. I think it's enough out of me for one night. Started off shit, kind of got less shit, and then just sort of ended on a bleh note. And it went for long enough, I think I might go stick this on YouTube, just as a... I haven't stuck anything on YouTube the last couple of days, because I've not done anything, because I've been sick. But, yeah, thanks for the chat, Sewer Stunt, and for the follow. Like I said, I don't really play this game very much, so if you came because, oh, somebody was playing Injustice 2, I probably won't see you again, because I hardly ever stream this anymore. Most of the time when I do play it, it's grinding for a legendary, and then I record the legendary multiverse and stick that on YouTube. And most of the characters now that I've got anywhere close to being ready for another legendary are still fucking ages away. But anyway, it might be a different story if this game had crossplay, because then... And a decent ranking system. That's another thing with NetherRealm, you need to work on that. Crossplay for your next game, but also a decent actual ranking system, so that people who've got a lot of wins aren't paired against people who've barely played the game, or who have proven that they suck at it, like me. Because then that just leads to people who are not good at it constantly getting stomped, and people who are vaguely good at it thinking they're better than they actually are, because they hardly ever play really good opponents, because they're not in an actual ranking system. Because ranked matches in this game are just who else is currently looking for ranked matches, rather than who is at your rank. Anyway. Bye for tonight. I'm back tomorrow afternoon to do some Fallout. And I'm recovering, so I'll be doing other stuff over the weekend. Maybe I'll have a slightly less crappy Lego game on Saturday night. Continuing the Lego Batman 2. Really sucked last weekend. And it was because I was starting to get sick, I think. Well, and, it was just a bad day. And for some weird reason, I want to play more of that Resident Evil Revelations 2. Actually found it quite compelling for some reason. I didn't think I would. Not a huge horror game fan, but thought I'd try it for something different, and it turns out I kind of like that one. Anyway, bye for now.